Hi, teachers. One of the biggest questions we get in the humanities department for elementary 3rd through 5th grades is how to customize what I see and what my students see to support a Monday through Friday learning progression. So, this video will be going through how you can make really simple customizations that will help align to your particular schedule. So, from my homepage right now, when you click on, or your students click on, the Language Arts and Social Studies tile, they're taken to this main page. And the main page is set up to have all of social studies in one spot, all of reading in one spot, and all of writing in one spot. And this was done very purposefully. Every teacher at every campus has a very different schedule, and there was no way for us to break apart this material so that you could see the work and your students could see the work in the order that you wanted it for your classroom. So right now, if students were just to start clicking next on their assignments, they're going to go in this particular order. They're going to start with this first lesson in social studies all the way through the exit ticket, and then they would hit reading and start on the first lesson and go all the way through the exit ticket. And then they would hit writing and go all the way through the exit ticket. And then if they kept clicking next, they would end up in all of the May Do choices in order. And then eventually they would just show up at week 2 and could start clicking through all of the work. And that might not be what you necessarily want them to do. I know in my own classroom, that's not how I would arrange it. So there are really simple ways for you to use this work in the order that you want it to be done. And the best way to do that is to use this same page, this Language Arts and Social Studies main page. Don't change any of the titles or anything. And we're going to just create our own Monday through Friday Outlook. And the way that is done is that you just go to Edit from this main page. And in your rich content editor, you can go right below this big block of text and you could start adding your own. So let's say my reading workshop was from 8 to 8:45, right? You could go in here and kind of customize this, right? You could say, and then what I did is I just added a table right here that says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I used this same look from this top part so that you're still in that alignment of what's happening, right? So let's say my reading workshop was from 8 to 8:45, and then my writing workshop was maybe 8:45 till, let's say, 9:30. And then maybe my social studies isn't till later. And so maybe my social studies is like, I don't know. Some people have it in the afternoon. So let's say like 12:45 till 1:15. Okay. And of course we want to put like AM and PM on this for good measure. Okay. And then, so I just put these tiles in there. And what I want to do is I want to decide how I want my students to go through this material. And that'd be the first thing that I would want to do. So let's say for reading workshop on Monday, I don't want them to set up their reading notebooks first because I would rather them start the lesson. I can simply highlight any of these here and copy it using Command C. And then I can just go to where I want it and drop it in. And you'll notice that little line is still there. That means that's still linking to that page. So if I don't change the titles or anything, I can kind of put that wherever I want. So let's say I wanted and then I wanted maybe reading notebooks. I wanted that to happen on Tuesday, but also on Tuesday for reading. I want them to do this mini lesson on Just Right books. You can do that there. If the color changes, it's not a big deal. You just go up here and change it back to white so that you can see it. Let's say on Wednesday, I want them to do this task share. And all I'm doing is just copying and pasting. Maybe I'm going to leave small group out of that. And let's see, maybe I want them to do the exit ticket on Friday. And maybe on Thursday, maybe I am going to do like a really specific small group lesson on Thursday. I could do that there, right? So I can spread these things out however I want. Or maybe if I decide I want them to do this reader's notebook twice, I could do that. And it will take them to that same lesson, right? Let me change that color. Okay, so that's a really simple way. I could reorder whatever is up here, and then I would go do the same thing for writing and the same thing for social studies. And as you can tell, it only took me like a minute or so to just go reorder this. After I've gotten all of those things shifted, I could potentially just get rid of this chart just to make it easier for my students to read. They could see exactly what they were going to do during each little block of time, okay? So let's pretend for a second that I already filled out my whole chart. When I'm done, I'm just going to click Save. And there we go, right? So I have my new outlook for my students, okay? That's good. But the problem still exists that when my students go down here and they click Next, now right now I'm in teacher view, so it's going to send me to the Do Not Publish pages, right? But if my students go click Next, right now, they're going to end up on this first social studies lesson. So let's go look at the module view so we can see what we can do to fix that. So from module view, you will see everything in order. And we don't want our kids to go in the order that we have. So you can reorganize these things however you want. So right now what you see is you'll see social studies week 1, reading week 1, writing week 1, and all of the lessons are in there. But just by grabbing this little tab, I can organize these however I want. And something else you should know is you can add these little header bars to help you organize. So what I did was I added a Monday reading, Monday writing, Monday social studies. And then I just went down and grabbed what I wanted for reading and dragged it up in order. And then I grabbed what I wanted for writing and dragged it up in order. And then grabbed what I wanted for social studies and dragged it up in order. And then I put a stop page for my students. So I created this. So let me walk through how I did this. So the first thing I did was I made these little header bars: Tuesday reading, Tuesday writing, Tuesday social studies. And the way you do that is very simple. You go to the top of the module in the gray bar, you click plus, and it lets you add stuff. Well, we want to add a text header. And a text header is just what you saw right there. So the next one I would need would be Wednesday reading. And I would add the item. Now, when I add it, it's going to just automatically add it as the very last thing in my bucket here. So you could either leave it there and just keep adding all of your headers and drag stuff down into it, or you can just drag this up where you want it. I prefer to have things at the top. It's just my workflow. It's what I like. And then I would want to just continue adding these headers so that I have my schedule, okay? And don't forget to publish what you want the children to see. Okay, so let's go here. So I've got my reading. Now for my Tuesday reading, remember I wanted them to do their setting up their social studies, their reading notebooks. So I'm just gonna take that tab, see how it's highlighted blue, and I'm going to drop it in up here, and it's in the correct order. And then I wanted them to do their mini lesson, choosing just right books. So I'm going to drop that up there. And for Wednesday reading, oops, whoop, wrong spot. There we go. And then for Wednesday reading, I wanted them to do this explain, task, share what you read. So I'm going to go drop that in place, right? So I would put my text headers in for the whole week and then just start moving my things around, okay? And then once these are empty, I can just unpublish what's not there. The other thing I could do is that before class on Monday, I could have all of these unpublished, and then before class on Monday, I could come through and publish them so the kids can see them. So then maybe what's there for Tuesday is unpublished, so that when they log in, they only see what they need to see. So that's one way of doing that. The other way of getting them to stop and not just click through your entire week's lessons in one day is you could add a stop page. So let me show you what I added on this stop page. This is not necessarily the only way to do this. It was just kind of a creative way to have a stop page. So I put stop here with a little clapperboard, Monday, week 1. And I said, great job completing your work today in language arts and social studies. Our next class meeting is at 11 a.m. So maybe you're having them work asynchronously. You want to tell them when the next time is. Maybe I even put the Zoom link in for the next whole class meeting. That might be a creative way to do that. And then I could invite them to go back to their may do choices while they wait. And all I did was just copy this chart from that main page. I just copied it and pasted it down, so that my kids know, okay, cool, I finished all the work that I needed to finish, and that I can just kind of pause here. Another idea might be to put in like a Go Noodle or a movement activity for kids to engage with, a dance video, something fun to just get them up out of their seats since they've been sitting down and working so hard. Okay, so let's go back to module view so that we can, I can show you how to add that page in, and or once you have it in, how you can copy it over. So let's say I want to use this same kind of page every day. Once I have it created, I can use the 3 little dots on the side, and I can duplicate this page. And when I do that, it will copy it directly, but then add the word copy to the end of it. And since I always want it to be at the end of every day, I could drag it down here and put it after social studies. And if there's nothing really specific on that page, then I can just edit the title by using the 3 dots and clicking edit, and change this to say Tuesday. And then I want to take the word copy off at the end of it. Oops. And say update. And then it's Tuesday, week 1. If there's something really specific in there, let's say that the time changes or something, I can go in here, of course, and I can just edit this page to change whatever I want on it. Or maybe if I'm like, oh, actually today you have to go to Imagine Learning for 20 minutes. I can go in there and change that to say that. And the way that I added this page to begin with was the same way I added the text header. So initially, I just went up to the module, the little gray module bar page. I clicked the plus button, and I chose page. And then I just chose new page, and I put in whatever title I wanted for the new page and clicked add item. And when you do that, it shows up at the very bottom of the module, and you can go edit it and do whatever you need to. So here is just a really easy way for you to move the things around, put them in the order that you want, so that when students log in, and like I said, so once we've moved these, this order in the module is going to be what students see when they click next. So just for demo purposes, here I am on the What Do You Like to Read engagement page. And then if I click next, it takes me to that next activity. Remember, we put that setting up the writer's notebook. So there's my writer's notebook. If I click next here, it should be the You Are a Writer. Yep, there it is. There's the You Are a Writer. And there's social studies notebooks, because that was the next thing we had in there. There's our Engage Your Brain for Social Studies. And when I click next one more time, hey, great job completing your work today in language arts and social studies. Our next class meeting's at 11. Makes it really clear for students. I did my Monday work and I am good to go. Also, it's good to note that because we didn't change the titles of any of these pages, when students click on like the link that says back to week 1 main page, it will take them back to that same main page that we were working on. And the same is true with all of these. If students click on the link directly right here, it will take them to the page that we want them to, because none of the names are changed. We just kind of reorganized them and put them, and we did some customization, right? We put them in the order that works best for you and your students. So I hope that helps everybody out. This is a question I've gotten a lot about: how do I customize, or this isn't in the right order for my students. So please reorder things, move them around. Here's the easy way to do that. And if you would like any help doing that, if that's something that you're like, what, I don't know what to do, I encourage you to watch this video again and pause it and try it out, or also contact myself or anybody from the humanities department, and we would love to get you started with customizing your courses for virtual learning. So have a great day. Bye.